couple of seconds to get the meeting going.
I think you're good to go. Thank you.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting of the Bethlehem IDA to order. I note that we have a quorum present today, and the first item on the agenda is to approve the minutes from the August 26th meeting. You've been provided with those minutes, and do I have any changes or modifications to the minutes from the August 26th meeting?
No.
Hearing none, can I get a motion to approve the minutes from the August 26th meeting?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Oh.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you. Next item on the agenda, reports of committees. Any reports of committees, Tom? Nothing to report, right?
Nothing to report.
Okay, how about communications?
Nothing to report.
Thank you. Old business, a planning board update. Rob?
No new updates on planning board. We continue to review projects that I have discussed in the past. A quick update on the comprehensive plan. Committee has met 2 times since the IDA met. The town board is discussing options for a moratorium during the comprehensive plan process. Town board direction at Wednesday's meeting was to pursue a residential moratorium only. And so this moratorium essentially would be in effect for 12 months. It would pause new residential development applications as the town and the comprehensive plan committee look to update the comprehensive plan. And so the justification behind the moratorium is, as we all know, that is clearly mainly the type of development we see in town, although we have some commercial and industrial. Residential growth is mainly historically what we've been seeing. And so putting a pause on new applications would give everyone a bit of a break, allowing us to review new goals, a new vision for the comprehensive plan, and not have new applications come in as we're trying to set new goals and a new vision and potentially new land use regulations that may affect residential development. So something that I'll be preparing for the board in the upcoming weeks to put on their October 14th agenda to start the process of putting a residential moratorium in place. So this will not affect commercial and industrial applications. So I want to make that clear.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Anything for the economic development coordinator?
I've been speaking with 2 businesses in town who have inquired about some IDA interest, potential expansion. They are in the very early stages of their business plans or their business expansion. So when there's something more concrete, I can bring it back to the IDA, but nothing to share at this moment. The micro enterprise program continues. We have some activity from, I think, 2 out of the 10 awarded businesses are continuing to move on with their grant applications. There's been somewhat of, as we all know, the economy isn't doing that great. And so it's good to see 2 of the businesses moving ahead with reimbursements and that they were spending money and moving ahead with their grant application. So that's a positive for us. And we continue to run the latest program. We have not seen any solicitation from the state on a new micro enterprise program, and that also is no surprise, as fiscal times are tough, and there was no solicitation for a 20, I think what they would have called a 2020 program. So we'll keep monitoring that and keep an eye out on that, but unfortunately there probably is going to be a pause in running the program going forward after this current program.
Okay. Any questions for Rob? Thanks, Rob.
Sure.
Moving on to new business, the financial statements.
Okay, you have the financial statements through August 31st. The statement of net assets, our cash account balance is $257,849.70. The Trustco CD account is $201,450. giving us total cash accounts of $459,299.70. We have prepaid expenses of $990.84, giving us total assets of $460,290.54. Our liabilities, accrued expenses, $32,349.21. And our net assets are $460,290.54. Going to our statement of revenue and expenses, total income, $39,183.15. Expenses, salaries and wages, $24,284.04. Contractual expenses, $48,927.10. Employee benefits, $54,44.52. Our total expenses were $78,655.66, leaving us with a loss year to date of $39,472.51. And after adding back interest income, year to date loss is $37,909.15. We compare the actual to the budget, the revised budget, of course. Our fee income still remains ahead based on the way we recognize all the income the first month, and our budget carries it out equally throughout the year. Our PSEG income is $3,200 below budget. That's just a function really of the months that have the income recognized. We bill that every quarter based on their reports to us. Our expenses, salaries and wages, of course, had stopped for the year, so they're on budget. Contractual expenses are a little below budget. We generally shouldn't have any other expenses coming up that I can foresee that would get us out of line with budget. And employee benefits were also on target with the budget. So our net is actually, we're slightly, $3,355.50 ahead of our revised downward budget. Are there any questions?
Mhm.
Thank you, Al. This all looks good. But since Frank has pulled up our next item of business, which is the grant awards, I will hope to see those reflected in some reasonable way with the financial statements. If not inside, then as a separate report, because I would like to see, we've allocated up to 25,000, and as it gets drawn down, I think it would be useful to be able to monitor what remains for businesses to apply for in the future.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll have a report on that next meeting of how much money has been awarded and what the remaining balance is.
Yeah, I'm going to put that liability on the September financial statements.
Great, thank you.
5,000, and then now that we're going to be issuing checks, there'll be activity on the account.
Right.
Okay, you'd only accrue what was awarded, right?
Right. That's right. And in fact, if some of the grants are approved today, Al could write the checks in the month of September, so they will already be included in the September financials.
That's correct.
I'm sorry, I moved it forward too fast. Any other questions for Al? Okay, let's move to the next item, which is the COVID grant program and the committee's recommendation on the grants. You all have a memo from Tom Conley, and I want to thank the members of the committee, Dick Kotlow, Kate Hedman, and Rob Leslie, and Robin and Tom for the work that they did to analyze the information provided as part of the grant application process. And I think, Dick, you're going to take us through it because Kate couldn't be here today.
That's correct. I think Tom's memo really memorializes in minutes what we discussed at the September 14th meeting, where we approved 5 grants, and everybody on the committee was 100% in favor of the 5 that we approved. The 5 that we approved. If we go to next, can we go to the next
Sure.
The matrix? Page 11, I think it is. Yeah, here, this matrix which was prepared by Robin and Tom really summarizes the 5 grants, and each one had a checklist mirroring our requirements that we passed by the board. And you can see that, every one of them was satisfied. We went through it. We discussed each one individually. We passed them. And we knew, someone on the committee knew each of the businesses, so that we had due diligence that they did exist and they met the criteria that we established. So the five are Bethlehem Preschool, which asked for, we recommended $500. Free Movement Pilates, I'll go to J Albany LLC, $500. Free Movement Pilates, $500. Someone like Freeman, $500, and M&P Gifts, $165. They all submitted their, really for reimbursement of PPE&E expenses they already had made. And we're very happy that we got this result pretty quickly. And as Tom said, we have some more coming through. So those are the recommendations, I believe. Is there any questions?
You did see their receipts of expenditure? Okay.
Correct. No. We every one of these had to, provide the information that we requested. And yes, we did.
Okay.
Thank you for reviewing these, everyone on the committee and all of the board members. We worked hard to get this program together, and I was very, very pleased to see that a variety of businesses from different business models, business types, ownership models, and geographies in the town were attracted to the program. I was very, very pleased to see that. I will say I was a little startled to read about these first in the Times-Union, where it was stated that these applications had received preliminary approval, whereas the board hadn't acted. And I would hope that for the next round, maybe that language could be clarified a little bit, that they're under review. But it really wasn't the best language to tell the public until we'd had a chance to look at these applications. But that's not a mark on anything that the committee did, and certainly not on any of the businesses who came to us in good faith.
Right, because those would have been picked up when we provided the information relative to the meeting, a week prior to the meeting. And so someone from the public or the newspaper had read it probably and assumed that they were, quote, pre-approved. Any other questions? Yeah.
Frank, the newspaper, the Times-Union, reads our agenda in advance every meeting.
Yep. Before we move, or are there any more questions? Before we move to the resolution, part of the process is to provide the public an ability to comment. I've been told prior to the meeting that no one has signed up to comment, and I got to ask Robin: has anybody subsequently, as we started the meeting, signed up to comment on any of the businesses related to the COVID grant program?
No, no one has registered to make a public comment.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So moving down, we've got the spreadsheet. Now there's a resolution in the package which approves the COVID-19 small business grants. We have had a chance to review the resolution. Can we get a motion to move that?
I'll move it.
Okay, thank you. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor of providing the grants to the 5 named businesses?
Aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Anybody abstain?
Well, thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much, Dick, for presenting that and for the work. I know in conversations with Tom, there's a lot of work that has gone into reviewing the applications and following up and making sure that all of the information necessary has been provided by those businesses. So Al, you can start to think about when you might want to write checks. We've got to get signatures and so on and so forth from me and the businesses, and hopefully we can move that forward relatively quickly.
Yeah, just let me know. I'll actually, prepare the checks today or over the weekend, and then, if there's something that's going to go out with the check, if I'm going to mail it, if there's a letter or some one-page acknowledgement of it, just let me know the language. I could put that together, or I could deliver the checks anywhere if somebody wants to do that. Just let me
Tom,
know.
don't they need to have an agreement? Isn't there an
Yes,
agreement?
we
they
got to
have to
get the
sign?
signatures on the agreement and so
Yeah.
on. Yep, before we can do any
Yeah.
of it. Yep. Okay. Any other new business?
I don't know that this is business of the agency particularly, but in the area of economic development and COVID relief, the Capital Region Chamber received $8.7 million federal award for the Capital Region Advancement Fund. And that's a very low interest loan fund for businesses, for-profit businesses, in not only Albany County, but 5 contiguous counties. So if there's any businesses in the town that have been impacted by COVID and need a working capital or some type of loan with favorable terms, if they went to capitalregionadvancementfund.com, they could find out the particulars on this program.
Well, thank you, Al. That's great. Any other new business? So down on future meetings, we have our regular meeting scheduled for Friday, October 23rd at 8 o'clock in the morning. And then a finance committee meeting. I had floated the idea of October 9th of 2020 at 8:30 in the morning. And I believe it's okay for Tim and Victoria and myself and for Tom. And Al, is it okay with you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'll send out a preliminary budget early next week, Monday or Tuesday at the latest.
Okay. And Robin, if you can check and see if there's, we don't need a room. That's right. It's going to be on Zoom. Sorry. Okay. So we'll meet 8:30, October 9th, and go through the budget for 2021. Anything else from anybody?
Following up on Al's comment, I pulled up our website, the Bethlehem IDA website, and of course was delighted to see that our own emergency grant program pops right up. It may be suitable to have a link to the Capital Regions program so that businesses can come to us and then go elsewhere knowing that we're supporting them.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can do that. Any other business for today? Hearing none, once again, I want to thank the members of the committee for the work that they did on the grant program. I know you got 6 more grants in that you're going to have to go through and prepare for the October 23rd meeting. And I'm just delighted that we were able to get this through, and we've started the process of being able to help those businesses in the town of Bethlehem that have been impacted by the pandemic. Since there's no other business, can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Thank you very much, everybody. Thanks,
Thank
Robin.
you.
Take care.
Thank you, everyone.